Welcome to Reckless Paradise, everyone. I am your host, Marissa, and I'm here with co-host Dystro. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Can't believe we're already almost through this week already.
Yeah, it's going by quick.
Definitely. So, as promised, I think in the last episode, we'd promised we would do an episode about the Foo Fighters. So, we're just going to talk about them, kind of give you guys some background knowledge about stuff that you may or may not know about them. And we're going to discuss some songs that we'd recommend to you guys to listen to for those of you who have not listened to the Foo Fighters yet. So, without further ado, are you ready, Dystro?
Yes, I am.
All right, so the Foo Fighters, they are a rock group that formed in Seattle way back in 1994. Um, Dave Grohl, who is the lead singer, used to play drums for a band called Nirvana, who was fronted by Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain had passed back in the 1990s, and once he passed, Dave Grohl came up with an idea to come up with a new project. It was originally only supposed to be a one-man project, but obviously now, as you can tell, there's a whole ass band backing him. Um,
Mhm.
so that is when the Foo Fighters were born. Now, I have down here that the Foo Fighters are classified into three genres. So would you like to, talk about them, Dystro?
Yes, they're classified under hard rock, alternative rock, and post grunge.
Now, I could see them under post grunge and hard rock, obviously. See them under alt rock, maybe mainstream rock, but not alt rock. Alt rock would be like, in my opinion, it would be like current Fall Out Boy stuff, or the current You Me at Six stuff, or
White
maybe
Stripes.
the Pixies or White Stripes. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely could see them as like hard rock and post grunge. That is for sure. Now, have you ever wondered, Dystro, what the term Foo Fighters actually means?
Well, yes, because I've never heard of this, to be honest.
Well, the term Foo Fighters means unidentified flying objects from the World War II days. Don't ask me why they named that, after that. It's kind of different, I guess. It's like how AC/DC named the band after what was written on a sewing machine that the young brother's sister was using to make Angus outfits. I mean, the way bands come up with names is actually kind of interesting, which I could do another whole episode about that if you guys want me to. It's really interesting.
Mm. I mean, a lot of bands nowadays, they just find something like, all right, let's just do with that, and they just come up with a different name on their head.
Right. So of 2021, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on their first try. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that is really cool. They deserve it.
Obviously. Now, the thing is, though, some groups don't get in their first try because they don't score enough votes. Like Judas Priest, for example, they have been nominated again this year. I think they were nominated last year. They didn't get enough votes last year, so hopefully they get enough this year. I don't know the current standings right now for that. But yeah, the Foo Fighters got inducted on the try. They got enough votes their first freaking try, which is freaking badass.
Yeah.
Now, this band also has released 10 studio albums since their formation, with their recent one being Medicine at Midnight, which was released last February. Wow.
That's crazy. It's like you said, time has gone by.
It definitely has. Like, maybe just because we've been in this pandemic for so long, like, kind of time's kind of flying by now. Now that we can kind of get out of our house, so to speak.
Yeah. And
Um,
and plus also music has coped with us uh during this pandemic as well, like to keep us sane.
Pretty much. Yeah, music's definitely helped me through some tough times. And I can definitely say the Foo Fighters have helped me through some tough times. Um, uh, well, I know I said Medicine at Midnight was their most recent album, but Dave Grohl made a movie this year, and he also released the soundtrack to that movie, which is like a whole nother album, I guess. It's a really heavy,
Yeah.
heavy album. So if you guys want to find that, I think you can find it on Spotify and maybe YouTube. I know I found it on Spotify though, like when I looked for it last week. I haven't listened to it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things than what we're used to from the Foo Fighters. So yeah, definitely check that out. I'm gonna have to check that out myself. I still have to check out the Red Hot Chili Pepper stuff, but I've been a little bit behind.
Hey, I don't blame
Now,
you.
yeah. Let's see, what else do I have written down? Unfortunately, their drummer Taylor Hawkins had just passed away on March 25th at the age of 50. We still don't have a cause of death yet. But once that gets released, we will let you guys know when we do another episode, obviously, whether it's here or Spotify. Um, and unfortunately, due to his passing, all tour dates have been canceled until further notice. Obviously, the band had posted a statement saying they would like to grieve and heal. They appreciate all the love and support and all the prayers. And yeah, they're going to take this time to heal, hold their loved ones just a little bit closer. Um, we definitely send our condolences to Taylor Hawkins' family, friends, and even the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, he was, man, he was so well talented too as their drummer. Like he did like drum solos like nobody's business.
He was freaking amazing, and it just sucks that people die so suddenly without like notice. Like I don't ever recall him having any issues. Like I know he had a drug problem back in the early 2000s, but I think he had, gotten help or something like that for it. Um, but like, yeah, like, happy guy.
Yeah, it's like when he's playing with the band, he's just playing with the boys, he's just doing his thing, like, making people happy and making music and living
Yeah,
life to the fullest.
it sucks, like people just pass without any notice. And just recently, also, the Grammys just happened not so long ago, and they swept the Grammys. What I mean by that is, apparently, according to the radio station I listened to, and on Facebook, they had won basically almost every single rock. What are we looking for? Like rock
Category.
domination, like rock award, I guess we could say. Yeah, they basically won almost every single one, which is freaking mind blowing. That is awesome. Unfortunately, they couldn't be there due to the passing, but that is freaking amazing. It's definitely well deserved during this tough time they're going through.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Grammys, they've also won a total of 12 Grammy Awards since their formation, and they've won Best Rock Album 4 times. That is an outstanding achievement right there. Wow. So that means 4 out of their 10 albums, I guess, won Best Rock Album. That is great.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's very hard to do to get Best Rock Album Award. It's very, very hard.
Oh, yeah. And like to get it 4 times, that is freaking incredible. My opinion, this is one of the biggest, best rock groups in this generation, in this modern day era we call rock and roll. I heard on the radio the other day, apparently people think rock and roll is dying. Well, if you want a good, solid rock group that gives you like that mainstream modern rock vibe to it, but also still holds kind of a grunge vibe to it, you need to listen to the Foo Fighters. They are rock and roll through and through. Like there is no exceptions.
Yeah, that is true. They've been around for
But
long, like 20 plus years.
well, let's see, 2004, 2014. In 2024, this group turns 30.
30.
Wow. That is awesome. Um, it's not often you find oh, actually, let me put it this way. When a group lasts for over 30 years, you know that group is making an impact on this world. That's like AC/DC. They're still around, and they've been around since the 70s.
And Def Leppard too.
Def Leppard too, yeah. There's a lot of groups I could go into, but we're not going to do that on this episode. This is about the Foo Fighters. Now, let's do this. So, Dystro, would you like to give out a song that you would recommend people to listen to by the Foo Fighters?
Oh God, there's so many. If I could do maybe top 3, if that'd be
Yeah,
fine.
that's what I had in my mind. Top 3.
I would say Here Comes My Hero, or My Hero.
My hero.
My Hero would be one. The Pretender, and Everlong.
Ooh, those are some good ones. I love Everlong. Like that is a masterpiece. Like if I could make a list of every song that I consider a complete masterpiece, that would be one of them right there. Everlong is a really good song. That's actually like one of the first songs I heard by the Foo Fighters, on the radio. So obviously
Pretender.
Everlong is gonna make my list.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of people who be like, "You did put Everlong on the list." Like, look, it's hard to come up with 3 songs off the top of our heads. Okay.
Well, yeah, Everlong is on my list. And then I'd put Walk. That song
Oh,
has
that's a good one.
personally meant a lot to me. It's helped me get back up on my feet from hard times, mentally, through struggles I've been through. That song hits hard and I love it. It's definitely a good picker upper for anybody who's going through shit. So Everlong, Walk, and oh man.
I'd
Oh
say
god.
maybe Learn to Fly, maybe.
That's actually my favorite Foo Fighters song, Learn to Fly. I love
Really?
the music video too. It's freaking funny. Dave Grohl is like kind of like dressed up like a girl getting on the plane.
Man, them Foo Fighters music videos, they're out of this world, man. The
On
Everlong one is top tier.
top tier right there. Learn to Fly. I listen to that song when I go riding in the summer because I go ATV riding up here. I love that song when I'm riding. Like I just turn it up and I just, go at the average speed up here, which is 15 miles per hour. That's the speed limit up here for ATVs and stuff like that. I just go on the tracks and I go during the sunset hours and it's just freaking beautiful. That and Everlong. Like if you have Everlong playing at this, right after. Oh, you want to talk about goosebumps? I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it right now because I'm going to be riding in like the next week or so. Oh man. Now, as my honorable mention, I'm gonna put Best of You because that song is just a really good song all around.
I was gonna start doing. I'm leaving the band, the band, the
I love that song. It's like honestly, I love all the songs I've heard by the Foo Fighters so far, even their new stuff from Medicine at Midnight. Now, before I keep going here, let me look up that album and see which songs I recognize from that album because I hear it on the radio all the time. Oh yeah, Shame Shame. Okay. Shit. I love Shame Shame. It has a different vibe to it. I like the music video. It's definitely dark. It's a darker video. It's like I remember when it first came on the radio, they're like, okay, this is something completely different from the Foo Fighters that we have never heard before. And it's true. Like this is different. And I like it. It's a good different.
band. See,
There's
it's
that
like I
one.
I haven't heard any of their newer stuff.
There's Shame Shame. I actually like listening to that when I hunt because we go hunting in the fall. Making a Fire, that's the first one I heard on the album actually. And Love Dies Young, I just heard. I don't think it was
Oh,
today. It might have been yesterday I heard it.
oh, okay. So Love Dies Young, I've actually heard that on the radio.
Yeah, I heard that yesterday, I think, on the radio, if I'm correct. I don't know. But yeah, I need to listen to the rest of the album. No Son of Mine's on there too, but I don't think I've listened to it yet. But yeah, that is their newest album, besides that metal one that came out, like, for the soundtrack for the movie that Dave Grohl had made.
Mm.
Now, it says right here, Medicine at Midnight, their recent album, got pushed out of released in 2020. However, due to COVID, they had to push it out and push it to 2021. Luckily, they released it early on in 2021. So, like I've said before, the best time to release music is towards the start of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's for true.
Oh yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be a pretty short episode, and I apologize. Maybe there's somebody that prefers shorter episodes. I don't know. But yeah, that is the Foo Fighters, guys. We definitely recommend you listen to them. They are like one of the biggest rock groups of modern day and age. I know people said rock is dying out. It is not dying out. It is over time, and we have to adapt to it. And if you don't want to adapt to it, that's on you. That sounds like a you problem.
You got a problem.
Like my dad likes the Foo Fighters. See, he's adapting to it. And my dad's like turning 58 this year. He was born like stuff and Led Zeppelin and The Doors. He's adapted to this. He likes the Foo Fighters. He's starting to like Billy Talent, Daughtry, who was like, he finished 4th in American Idol. He likes David Cook. He likes some modern rock. And how people say rock is dying? It's not. It is just evolving, and you just need to adapt to it. If you refuse to adapt to it, that's a you problem. Remember,
That's
folks, this is a brutally honest podcast. Brutally honest, and just sharing our opinions.
This is you just going, that's a you problem.
I literally feel like I'm freaking part of a rock military like personnel kind of thing. Like I'm always defending rock and roll. Like you can't beat it. Come on.
I mean, yeah, that's true. It's just like some people are saying, like, like certain genres are dying, and it's like, no, they're not. They're just adapting to modern age.
They're evolving, and you just adapt to it and just suck it up and face the facts that rock does, like all genres change over. Obviously, nowadays, like let's talk about hip hop, for example. Nowadays, hip hop is nothing like 2000s or 90s hip hop. You get what I mean? And people seem to kind of adapt to it. I personally don't. I sometimes I'll listen to the Backstreet Boys. It's like a boy band kind of thing. Like that's. We'll talk about that in another episode.
Backstreet and stuff like that. It's like I listen to them.
Yeah, I'll listen to that, but like I don't really listen to modern day pop. It's just not for me, and that's okay. It's not for everybody, but like, how can you sit there and say a genre is dying out even though you don't even give it a chance?
Yeah.
Like I never said once in this episode pop is dying out. That's a strong statement. I don't think any genre is dying out. I think all music genres are evolving and changing over time. And not only that, they're producing subgenres like, grunge, like post grunge and hard rock and alt rock and heavy metal, like that kind of thing. That's what and it's a good thing, to expand your horizons, so to speak, expand your options of what kind of rock music people can produce. It's great, honestly. And there's always one genre for everybody.
Yeah, that is true.
Anyways, before I go on another rampage here. Yeah. We ended it if you did. Thank you. That means a lot to us. We don't know what the next episode's going to be about yet, but stay tuned. As promised, we record on Thursdays and Sundays. Yeah. So be sure to listen to the Foo Fighters again. Our thoughts and best wishes go to Hawkins, friends, family, fans, and of course the Foo Fighters. We thank you guys for sticking to the end and listening to this episode, and we will see you guys around in the next episode. Peace.
Bye.